Slowly kisses busting by the river.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
You were a pretty good student back in school, right?
Not bad.
There you go.
Slightly above average.
The times the dog didn't eat your report card.
Exactly.
Are you familiar with the World War II expression, loose lips sink ships?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Big mouths.
It meant that during the war, if you were out at a restaurant, let's say, and started talking, you don't know who was at the next table. It could have been a spy. It could have been whatever. Mm-hmm. And whatever you happen to say, oh, I got a letter from my son last week, and their troops are moving. If they sat there, the person the next thing heard that, then all of a sudden they were a spy. They've got a little bit of information they can give back to Germany.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Sure.
So you definitely want to keep quiet. And it is kind of funny us saying that because what are we doing over here? We're putting up videos telling you about lots of things to buy and things like that. But it's a little bit different, and I'm going to tell you why shortly. So I was out at a thrift store a couple of weeks ago, and as I was looking through books, wasting a little bit of time, going through books, hoping to find something good. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to. It's getting harder and harder to find things at thrifts. I heard a voice that I knew a couple of aisles over. And he was talking to somebody. So I kind of sneaked around and peeked around the corner. And sure enough, it was the person that I knew. And they were talking to another person who I had seen before. And they were saying, hey, what are you up to? What are you up to? All that sort of thing. Now, you've been in thrift stores before, correct?
Back in the day, yes. Not recently, though. No.
They're public places. They just are public places. So you never know who might be around. Who might be looking through books as you're in aisle 4. Are you aware that coffee cups can be good?
I am, actually. Starbucks especially with the... We'll save that for another day.
Or isn't there also like Death Coffee or something like that? There's some other brands that are really, really good.
Yeah.
I knew this, but when I was standing in the thrift store, the one person said to the other, what have you been up to? Oh, I've been buying a lot of coffee cups lately. I went to an estate sale, and I bought one that I sold for $40 and one that I bought for $60, so I'm looking for coffee cups. Now, if I didn't know that coffee cups might be good, now they're definitely not something that I sell regularly. Not that I wouldn't sell them, but it's not something that I sell regularly. It's not something that I look for regularly. But here I am standing there, and he's saying something sold for $40 and something sold for $60. What do all of us carry around almost all the time with us?
Our phones.
What do those phones have the capability to allow us to do?
Know anything about anything.
Research. So what would a good eBayer with big ears do when they hear that?
I'd start looking up,
Coffee cups. Yeah. Yep. We're in Rochester. Ballpark idea of how many thrift stores there are in Rochester? 6?
Yeah, I was
8?
going to say half a dozen.
Yeah. How many estate sales are there in a weekend? 4 or 5? This is one person that was saying this. You've got 6 thrift stores and 5 estate sales. I'm going to put you on the spot here. You said you were good at school. What's 6 plus 5?
11.
Carry the 1. Yes. So that is indeed 11. How many people is this person that told us? He's one person.
Right.
There's 11 possible spots. Unlikely he can be in all 11 spots at once.
True.
You can be in one of those spots.
Yep.
And I can be in one of those spots. And now that he has told us, and we're telling you, that coffee cups can be very, very good, what's going to end up happening to him when he goes around to various sales?
There'll be less to buy.
Less to buy.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, where it differs a little bit is we're telling you things to buy. You're watching us. You're in Dubuque. You're in Montana. You're in Belgium. As much as I wish I could go to the sale that they're holding this weekend in Brussels, it's not going to happen. So you can use our knowledge and what we're telling you is different because you're not our competition.
Right.
The odds of you being at the same place we are at the same time, going after the same things, are almost nothing. The odds of this gentleman and me being at the same spot, well, it's already happened once.
Yeah, true.
And I do go to estate sales. I do go to thrifts. So now all of a sudden I'm going to be looking for coffee cups. And he's cut his own throat by mentioning in public about that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Viewmasters?
I am.
There you go. And I bring this up for a very specific reason. I was at an auction at one point, and there were some Viewmasters up. And one of the people said, hey, do you have any gold Viewmasters? Now, the person holding the auction was showing all of the various Viewmasters.
Right.
So all this bidder needed to do was hold his horses and watch. What color is the typical Viewmaster reel?
White.
What color would the center part of a gold Viewmaster reel be?
Of a gold Viewmaster reel?
Yes.
Gold?
You really were good in school.
I'm
You really
I got
were
good
good in
night's
school.
sleep. Good night's sleep. No, I didn't.
Can most people differentiate white and gold?
Sure. I think even if you're colorblind, I think you
I think you probably can. You probably can
Yeah.
see one is a white and one
Sure.
is a different color. And if
Right.
there are only two possible colors, you can
Sure.
say that
Yeah.
one's not white.
Yeah.
So what do you think your pal Papergoy did when he heard this person asking about gold Viewmasters?
Well, if they were there,
Papergoy was there.
but there were gold Viewmasters there.
There were not.
Okay.
But what did Papergoy do?
You had it absorb into your head, so you can start buying gold Viewmasters.
Papergoy did some research. The first year of Viewmaster, they brought out about 150 titles. I believe it was 1939 and 1940. They brought out gold Viewmasters. They were the center part of they're the first runs. Generally speaking, the reels go for $15 to $25 each, just for the common stuff. And obviously, if you got some of the rarer ones and all that kind of thing, they go for a lot more. What does a typical Viewmaster reel go for? A couple of bucks?
Yeah, probably common ones. Yeah.
Common ones, couple of bucks. So now all of a sudden, I learned, because he couldn't keep his information to himself, I learned to look for gold Viewmasters. Given that I was at the auction with this person, do you think I'll be at the auction again with this person?
I would assume so.
I will be. So guess what your pal Papergoy will do should he see gold Viewmasters coming up?
I would say it's bid up the big mouth.
That's a good way of putting it. There's a way we always put it at auctions, and this is something that I have always done at public auctions. There are a few items that I want. In fact, there is a very big auction that I go to. They haven't held it for a while now, but when they hold it, I put a big gold star, well, actually not a gold, a pen star next to it. And those are what I call A's. Those are ones that I am going to, you might win it,
Right.
but I am going to take you as far as I possibly can to win it. And then there are other things that, yeah, this is pretty good. I want this. I'd like to get this one if it's cheap. And then you've got what I call the ones I just put, I circle them, I do whatever.
Yeah.
And I call it the keep them honest lots. In other words, I see over there you've got, which nobody over there can see, so this is just absolutely beautiful. You've got 16 Hot Wheels.
Yep.
I don't deal in Hot Wheels. I don't. However, if I were at an auction and those 16 Hot Wheels came up and you were, not you because we're friends, but if you were a big mouth bidder and those 16 Hot Wheels were up at $1, I'm bidding. I'm bidding against you. I don't want those 16 Hot Wheels. I really don't want them.
Right.
But I know $1 is a heck of a deal. So I might bid $5 on them and you end up winning at $6. So what big mouth bidder did, you coined the name.
It's a cool name. I love that name.
You coined the name. What big mouth bidder did is he's now raised his floor on Viewmasters, because Papergoy, anytime he sees Viewmasters with the gold one in there at an auction that big mouth bidder is at, will make sure that he's not getting them for $1 a reel. Because, there's 3 gold ones in there. That's $45, $50, $60. And it could be more because it could be a rare one.
Sure.
But now I've got a little bit of knowledge that I otherwise never would have had. I never would have looked twice at Viewmasters. Now all of a sudden, if I see him bidding and there are 3 gold ones in there, he's getting them for $5. Well, I know there's $45 of value minimum right there on those 3, plus whatever else happens to be in there. He's not stealing a lot at $10 now. He's paying $15 to $20 for it regardless, even if nobody else is at that auction other than me.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm telling you is knowledge is power, and the knowledge that you have, the knowledge you're able to glean. And I'm sure we've given away a few secrets here and there that may at some point hurt us a little bit. One of the advantages that we have, though, you've got a little bit of unlisted inventory.
Yeah, I would say so. Just a little bit.
I would, a smidge. I would say that I probably needn't buy, at my current listing rates, till 2024. And I would be starting to get down to the nitty-gritty in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're probably really, really close to the same, if not the same.
Yeah, we got 7. I think we're up to like 8 listers now. So
You might have to buy the end of 2023.
Yeah, maybe.
You can wholesale some stuff or I'll wholesale some stuff to you. You'll be set.
Thanks.
So yes, we may be hurting ourselves a little bit, but it isn't the case where we absolutely need to buy.
Right.
So just the knowledge you have is where you make your profit at. Don't go blabbing it out at a thrift store. Don't be asking questions out in the open public that are kind of a little trade secret of yours. You'll be very, very happy. Just kind of keep what you know to yourself. And when somebody or other asks you why you bought it, oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yep. Doesn't mean that people aren't going to stalk your auctions and figure it out at some point, but at least make them go through that extra step. So remember, loose lips sink ships. We'll see you next video. Comment down below if you could, and don't forget to hit the like button. We'd really appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.